Today's panel is focused on evolving journey of storage providers in the Filecoin ecosystem. I am thrilled to join by three great leaders in the space. We have Stephen Lee from Novlink, Stefan Burbet, founder of Akave and a former head of network growth at Protocol Labs, Malad Zeri, co-founder of Infrafolio. Let's kickstart with the look back first. Stephen and Malad, let's start with you both. What inspired you to join Filecoin Network in the first place, and how was your journey involved since becoming a storage provider or a network contributor? Stephen, you want to go ahead first?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Chin. Yeah. For me, yeah, it's really go back quite a while. Yeah, it's because I joined this ecosystem since 2018. Yeah, it's almost 6 years. Okay, and my team and I naturally went through every stage of the Filecoin network. Yeah, firstly we translate the white paper and contributed to early code base, and later on we participate into the devlet and testlet, and later on to support many storage providers while the mainnet launch. So yeah, basically, I joined the Filecoin ecosystem because I truly believe into the blockchain and also decentralization, and also I believe that the Filecoin offered really solid and meaningful solution for decentralized storage, and because I have some background about our distributed storage, so I think combining with blockchain, the Filecoin have a very good, very bright future. Yeah, since then, yeah, because it's a long time, we actually also besides Filecoin, we explore some other projects. Yeah, despite of this, we actually Filecoin is our main focus. Yeah, since then. Yeah, besides supporting SPs, and we also actually our team participate into the Filecoin development and also support the ecosystem. Yeah, for example, we build the Filescan, the Explorer, and also the Token 5 wallet, and also we have the Villas. We're the maintainer of the Villas. Okay. Yeah, over all the years, I would think that the Filecoin is still the number one of the decentralized storage. Currently, for these years, maybe the pace as a little bit slow down, and after we just heard Juan just stated about all the plans. I would think that if we invest more, including the developers, support all of them, and I believe that the Filecoin will still stay strong. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. How about Malad?
Hello, everyone. So I come from the software background. Back to 2020, I got involved in crypto and blockchain, and I've always been interested in infrastructure in general. How can I work on the infrastructure, like any project, as a software engineer? Then a quick spending some time in blockchain, I realized that there is a huge gap, like in terms of infrastructure. It was lacking. Like half a blockchain was running on AWS, even right now. And I remember there was a time that AWS was down for a couple of hours, and most of the blockchain, like Ethereum, everything was done. So I started doing some research back then. I guess it was mid 2021. Then I found the Filecoin. I mean, I always knew. I mean, always familiar with IPFS, but Filecoin, I realized that that's the same product from the same team. So that can be promising. I started digging into it, and I kind of liked the entire concept of having a decentralized infrastructure, not just a storage. I'll go one level further, basically. Then at the same time, I was looking at some sort of business, starting like a side business or any business that can just be like my own, running my own company. Then I realized, okay, at some point I can just combine all these two together and basically follow the same path. And then since Phil Vegas, I mean, before that, I started learning all these concepts. As I said, I was a software engineer, so I had to learn all these like networking, hardware, putting all these pieces together, software, servers as a like enterprise hardware, and then finding like getting involved into the community and data onboarding, all these all non-technical stuff after that. So it took me a while, like a year and a half, to come up with all these together, put them together, and now I'm onboarding data as a Filecoin storage provider.
Awesome. Those are great insights. Thank you. Stefan, you were there from the early days helping to shape the network growth. And what were some of the biggest takeaways from those early stages? And how do you view the ecosystem today? If there are any changes, have you seen bring the most value to the network overall?
Yeah, I mean, lots of awesome changes that have happened since. I think, takeaways are that, when we started Filecoin, we were the first decentralized storage network in the world that was one, not only so large in size, but so strong as an ecosystem. Because one of the findings is that you can't pull this off, all right, as a single entity. You can only pull this off if there's an ecosystem that's strong across the world. And that's basically what we have seen when we were at Filecoin, like a strong ecosystem of believers that wanted to change how, data is being managed, how users can contribute, have a stake in this new networking effect or network of providers, but network of data onboarders. And then also the other thing we've learned is that, as what Juan was saying, there's different markets, different product solutions, or products that tailor to different markets that need to be built. And I'm a poster child of that with Akave. We're actually sending deals today to Milat, right? And so of data that's being onboarded through Akave, because what we're doing is we're focusing on one of the verticals, one of the market segments, because during the time that we built out this massive supply of infrastructure, which is really hard to do, and still today is the biggest and the most enterprise grade, largest infrastructure there exists today that is powered by a blockchain or powered by a token, in this case, Filecoin. And even today, by the way, I'm still getting requests from other networks. Hey, can we collaborate with Filecoin storage providers for compute, for example, right? So there's like definitely a very strong network there. And so, today the evolution obviously is a lot of on-ramps, L2s that are going after these markets, are helping creating that experience and a lot easier in how to take advantage of Filecoin. And that's also where we are very focused on, because that's what's necessary right now. And I've also seen this new AI wave uh, in general, how users can protect their digital twin online by taking more controls. And I think that's where the future is for all of us.
Thank you, Stefan. Actually, you're speaking about like AI side. I do have a follow-up question for that later on, but right now we can actually dive into a little bit more. What type of clients and data storage have you supported? And then are you seeing increased demand for cold storage, hot storage, new verticals like AI and other research and stuff like that? And, since you already talked about AI, I would love to hear your
Yeah,
perspective.
totally. So one of the things that we have seen in the last year is we have this one customer that's focused on, and it's an enterprise customer, focused on running more AI experiments on their existing data set. And in that journey, they discovered that, not unexpected, that it's really expensive to continuously move data out of the cloud if you want to use external compute resources. So let's say, what happened in the last 2 years, GPUs became more popular, obviously, because people wanted to run more AI experiments. That drove up the price. That also helped fund more decentralized compute networks and even centralized compute farms to come online with access to GPUs, specifically the H100s, the H200s now. And users want to take advantage of that. And by taking advantage, you actually have to move your data to those compute farms. And when you start moving data out of the traditional centralized clouds, you're charged with a huge bill. And so this was one of those customers that was in that situation where they wanted to use local compute, or negotiate a better deal with a compute farm, and realized, oh, I'm using Snowflake. And Snowflake is one of the largest billion-dollar businesses in the Web2 world that's focused towards providing analytics tools, specifically to enterprise customers that have private data sets. And this is a perfect example of where we can build the bridge between the traditional Web2 analytics and AI tools and bring some of those data sets into decentralized storage. So that's an active use case that, outside of the explosion of smart agents that are happening, but already there's also the existing data pipelines basically that we can tap into that are becoming more sensitive to not only the privacy, but also mostly driven by cost and mostly driven by the necessity to have freedom, right? Meaning they can freely use their data the way they want to use it. And that's where Filecoin and Akave comes into play. So we're very focused on that one segment, that market segment. Yeah, so that's this very uh, interesting use case because it shows the ripple effect or the effect of what AI has eventually. Because initially users are first optimizing for compute, but secondary to that, they're now starting to look at, as they're coming out of their proof of concepts, they're looking at how can I, in the long term, support these new workloads that are generating also a lot more, new data sets that didn't exist before.
Awesome. Thank you, Stefan. Those are great insights. Stephen, I knew you were being in the ecosystem for a long time in a very early stage. How was your experience with the SP storage provider changed over time? And then what were some of the biggest lessons from your early days compared to now?
Okay, yeah, I would say that it actually changed a lot over time. Okay, yeah, it's because while the Filecoin mainnet is launched in 2020, Filecoin was very hot actually. Yeah, especially in Asia. The many investors actually in Asia, they put a lot of money to help build up this network. Okay, yeah, back then the Filecoin actually. At that time, we don't have the FEVM. I don't have the capacity to have some program, have an application. So there are only storage providers. But even like that, the whole ecosystem, there are different zones. Yeah, for example, there are some hardware provider, the investor, operator, or technical supporter, and also even the token non companies. Okay, yeah, they provide tokens for the for collateral. So at that time is because people really believe in the Filecoin, so they just join and were very passionate. Okay, but after that things is going ups and downs. Okay, and we go structurally. The price dropped, but we also have the FEVM available, and the people actually expect the ecosystem will grow up. And after that, while the FEVM is available, we have some DeFi projects actually and available, and the whole ecosystem looks okay. But honestly, I would say that in the last 2 years, it hasn't gone as well as we expected. Okay, so currently I would say that the whole ecosystem, especially for the storage providers, they are facing some difficulties. They use some support, and first thing, I was thinking is that we still need DeFi, and actually we still need, for example, the decentralized DeFi system, and fully decentralized, make it very easy for storage providers to borrow. And Filecoin, currently we have some apps or platforms there. Most of them are based on still on trust. Okay, we still need to support the fully decentralized system to support this. And yet, because you know that many storage providers, they really think their privacy and are very important. Okay, they don't want to expose their identity. And also, I was thinking that we should make something easier. Okay, currently, still, we have developed some tools, but the whole thing is still difficult for newcomers to join. So we are facing as the storage provider supporter. We have done a lot of things, but we still we think that currently we have some existing storage providers still working in this ecosystem, but we have these newcomers joining this network. There's a current status. Nothing. So I could say more. Next. Okay. For the status or change, I would think it's like this. Okay.
Thank you, Stephen. I can agree with you about the current situation regarding we need more new consumer come in. There's difficulties as I'm chatting with a lot of community members in daily basis. Malat, actually, how has ecosystem grow and has shifted over time for you from your original perspective? And have any local regulations, infrastructure developments, or consumer needs significantly influence your operation as well?
Right, absolutely. So I would like to break it down in two sides, two perspectives. One side is going to be on the technical side. For a portion of time, like a year ago, there was a gap in terms of tooling, but then we were moving towards the right direction. I take it as a positive, specifically migrating from the old software to the new software. And huge shout out to the Curious team; they're doing a fantastic job over there. And that makes our job much easier, more scalable, and basically you're having a peace of mind as a storage provider running these cluster-based new architecture software that we have. On the non-technical side, basically running the business, obviously it comes down to the bottom line and having a sustainable profit margin. If you want to break it down more, it's going to be basically the same as other storage businesses, even in Web2, it's going to be cost per tip and revenue per tip. And revenue per tip is always based on the market dynamic and whether if you have clients paying you directly or not. And the cost per tip is really that's the part that's challenging for SPs. If you can bring down the cost, basically you can have a bigger profit margin. And that brings me to this to the next challenge, which is as a business, you need to grow. You need to scale and grow. Scale, again, it's going to be on the technical side, but growing is going to be on the business side. And it means when you grow, you are going to have more cost. If you're just operating as a solo storage or a small operation, maybe that cost is not that much. You can cover it up, but then you need to grow and scale it. When you grow, you are going to have more cost. And the big question here is, are you going to have the same cost per tip, or after some point is the business is not going to make any sense given the current market situation?
Thank you, Malat.
Can I have something about
this? Yeah, go ahead, Stephen.
You mentioned about this regulation is I was thinking that this is one of the major reasons of the Asia SPs. Some of them left this network is because because of the regional regulation, actually, especially in China. So there are some Chinese SPs that actually moving out out of China, and also some of them yeah, basically, yeah, the just lift. Okay. Yeah, this is one thing I want to mention here. And also another thing is that, as I mentioned, the technique difficult for the people to join. And one thing is the whole system is complicated. I would think that for Filecoin, yes, because Filecoin is a is a big thing. Could not be so simple. Yeah, it's the people can understand this. Okay, yeah, but and secondly, the data cap they are comparing to the first 3 years. Okay, currently the storage providers they face another barrier to join. Okay, they need to help the client to apply the data cap. Yeah, that is also very difficult currently. And I would think that if you want to, and actually the SP is also the supporter, okay, the user of the ecosystem, the network. So if you want your network or your product to have more users, you should make it very simple, from the user point of view. Okay, so we need to really improve our DC process, make it very simple, automatic, or just move it to layer 2 or something like this. So currently it really doesn't work and as it should be. Okay.
Got it. Actually, we were talking about regulation as well as cost, operation side. I do have a follow-up question for both of you. Can you share a little bit about your current profitability models? Like, are you tracking monthly, daily, or yearly metrics? And then where do you currently stand in terms of OpenX and CapEx spending? Mulad, do you want to share first?
Sure. I mean, to be honest, I operate in the United States, so I mean, I'm guessing we have the most favorable government right now in terms of the crypto. So I don't have any issue with regulation at the moment, and hopefully not in the future. In terms of the profit, most of the SPs, I guess, they rely on the token rewards as an income. And it's really at this point with this price, it's still positive. I try to keep the cost low, but you cannot compare it with the high tech companies, because high tech companies typically falls between 30 to 60-70% profit margin. But this is more, you can compare it to like a local businesses, maybe like a restaurant or coffee shop. More like a consumer based at this point. Unless you are paid fiat, which is going to be a different story. That makes a huge difference.
All your corporations currently in the US region, right?
Yes, US Texas.
Okay. What about Stephen Lee? You're in APAC right now.
Basically, as I mentioned, because the mechanism of the Filecoin network, it's a little bit hard for the storage providers to evaluate their return on invest. The basic thing is that there are very long time half year locking, okay, and also the collateral, okay. It's actually about the price up and down, and you will say that it's impossible to evaluate. So when how much the price will be, okay, after half a year, it's very difficult. So the opportunity cost is very high. For Filecoin. Basically, if you are not sure there is very high margin, you are not actually to do this work. That is also, I think that is very different from some POW project. And so the mechanism is actually want to maintain the people in this network. But on the other side, it also blocks the people to join. Okay, so I was saying that two sides two-sided sword for this. So basically, I was saying that based on the current price, so the SPs will, basically SPs will evaluate their return based on Filecoin over Filecoin return. But that is not so accurate. For fiat, okay, because your electricity and your machine, you need to pay by the fiat, okay. So we need to have some mechanism to make this kind of thing stable. For example, as I mentioned, the lending system. Because if you have a lending system, you could borrow Filecoin, and so that you could really calculate your return in Filecoin, okay. And also, for example, you could negotiate with for example, the IDC, so the data center, they could charge Filecoin. That will be much better, okay. Because for the SPs, they could have all of this calculated by Filecoin. So this is the thing. It's kind of difficult. So basically, with our current cost calculation, the majority of the cost is still the collateral. Okay, so I would think that the lending system will be the most important thing. For the SP. That's why I'm here and I talked about the lending system is so important. For a few times here. Okay.
Thank you, Stephen and Malad. It's really great insight to share with the community. Just to as a note, Jennifer shared a solution for becoming a PDP SP is much easier. If you guys are interested and want to see more document, she already shared a link in the chat as well. We'll talk about the present and then the past. I would love to look ahead for the future. Stefan, from an ecosystem-wide perspective, what are your hopes and expectations for Filecoin Network in the next coming year? And what needed to push us forward? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm super excited about two things. One, PDP. Why? Because that makes Filecoin, that opens up a lot more use cases, right? Because if you can start using any Filecoin storage provider for hot, warm, or at least warm storage, that's very exciting. I think SPs today already store a second copy. So they store the sealed copy. They already store a non-sealed copy anyway. So it would just be enabling what they're already doing with their infrastructure, but actually being able to monetize it more and actually drive more demand and usage. And then the second is a stable coin. I think, that's also great because definitely when you're looking at the use cases that we're going after, it's easier to budget if you have a stable, cost structure, definitely for the front end. And so, and the third is, obviously from the Agave perspective, we would love to enable as many storage providers with an object interface through the Agave stack. And as Stephen and Milat were saying, like, making it easier for more use cases to come online and take advantage of that. That is my main hope. That is my main stuff that I'm looking forward to, is where all of the Filecoin storage providers will be able to support all these use cases with the same infrastructure.
Thank you, Stefan. And for Stephen and Malad, what's your top priorities for the next 12 months? What are you going to be focusing on? Scaling or new client onboarding or something else you'd like to share? Malad, you want to go first?
Sure. Yes, definitely scaling is going to be on the priority, and I would like to have that scalability coming through like L2s like Agave, because I mentioned that multiple times. Basically, as a SP, I like to do what I'm good at and leave the rest to the other like networks. So I like to see like networking and tooling coming around for different use cases, so we can have like multiple different type of clients getting onboarded, and that helps with the scaling as well.
Stephen?
Okay. For us, and I was saying that it's actually quite hard to onboard new clients, as I mentioned. Yeah, but we are we're focusing on this year is more to help our existing clients grow. Okay, just to help them onboard more storage and scale up. Okay, that's and that's our priority. And this year, and I believe that there will be more stored more storage will be extended this year. We still need some support for, and as mentioned, about lending or something like this, and also some other tools. We may discuss this offline. And I was saying that this is one thing. And some other thing I was saying that for the SPs, if you want to have more SPs to join the system, one thing is that to make things simpler, and another thing is that to really boost our ecosystem. So I really think that we need to support more builders, more projects, to grow in the ecosystem. Okay.